Hey, this is Ramon, Channels Alpha 4, and this is a supplemental to my Genesis series, which is a revisit of the first 3 chapters of Genesis, and this is continuing on with my Bible study. So this is the Enuma Elish, and well, what you need to know here is that the Enuma Elish was written before the Bible, was written before Genesis was written, and you will see things in here that coincide with Genesis. Now, these are just passages from the Enuma Elish, and I only selected the passages that are relevant to Genesis. The Enuma Elish is actually a very grand narrative about warfare between the gods. I'm just picking the passages that are relevant to Genesis. So let's begin. The Enuma Elish, 5th tablet, lines 1 through 17. Marduk appointed the stations of the great gods. He set in heaven the stars of the zodiac, which are their likeness. He fixed the year, into sections he divided it. He set up the 12 months, 3 stars apiece. According to the day of the year, he placed images. He founded the stations of Nibiru, Jupiter, to make their course and settle their boundaries, that none might exceed and go wrong, or fall short and go astray. He set the station of Bel and Ea thereby. He opened the great gates of Her, Tamat's ribs, as the shelter on both sides called the sky. He made a strong bolt on left and right. He made a strong corridor on the left and on the right. With her liver he fixed the zenith called the height in the heavenly vault. He gave the god Nanner, the crescent moon, his brightness, and entrusted to his care the night. He set him for the government of the night, to determine the day. Monthly, without fail, he set him as a crown, saying, at the beginning of the month, when thou shine over the land, make thy horns limited to 6 days. On the 7th day, make thyself like the crown divided. Next passage. The Enuma Elish, 6th tablet, lines 4 through 7, 11, 19, 26 through 28, and 44 through 45. I will set up man. Man shall be his name. I will create the man. Man from blood and bone of a god. I will fashion him. Service to the gods shall be imposed on him, and I will set the gods free. I will make man to inhabit the earth, and I will make twofold the ways of the god. I will beautify them, that the service of the gods may be established, and that their shrines may be built. Let one brother, fellow god, be given. Let him suffer destruction, that men may be fashioned from him. Let him who created the strife, whosoever started the war and incited Tamat to gather an army, let that one be given as sacrifice. From King U's blood, Ea fashioned mankind for the service of the gods, and he set the gods free. After Ea had fashioned man, he laid service upon him. That work which pleased him not, man was chosen for. I shall create Babylon, the construction of which ye desire. I will make you a city. There I will fashion a splendid shrine of molded mud bricks, a high shrine, higher than any other. Thus they made the ziggurat for the Apsu in Eridu. And then the final passage, the Enuma Elish, 7th tablet, lines 1 through 2. Giver of plantations, appointer of sowing time, creator of grain and fibrous plants, who makes the green garden herbs to spring. Now, as you can see, these lines directly coincide with the story we know from Genesis. But again, I remind you that the Enuma Elish is a grand narrative having to do with war between the gods. It does not concentrate on the creation story, while the first 3 chapters of Genesis does. And the rest of the Bible does not go back to the Enuma Elish to justify itself. That's not what I'm saying. I am simply making the case and proving it that Genesis is a polemic against these false beliefs of the ancient people. And this polemic that we are taking literally was not meant in that way. It was meant as an explanation against these beliefs, as a way to distinguish the Israelite or Hebrew beliefs from the beliefs of the greater Mesopotamian communities at that time. It's important to understand that, especially when talking to people who want to argue with us about the literality of these chapters. So, anyway, this is my supplemental for Genesis. I have 2 more supplementals to go, and that will be theogony and working days. And I just wanted to show you that Genesis is addressing these issues. And Genesis has a different take than the Mesopotamian, but they are addressing the same things. And as you can see from these readings, these lines directly coincide with what's in Genesis. So you can see the mirroring effect and you can see the influence. So I would like to present that as my evidence of that, and I would like to have you please read through these books. I have 3 translations. The one that I like the best is The Creation Myths of Mesopotamia. I think that's what the book's called, or Myths of Mesopotamia. The one that's just titled Enuma Elish, it's a 2-volume book, and it really wasn't worth getting. The cheaper Oxford version, I think it was Oxford, was much more affordable and well worth it. So anyway, peace, like, subscribe. Please comment down below. Talk to you all later. 2 more supplementals to go, and then we get back into our regular Bible study.